Yes, people, welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. Hope you are all well. It's time for the Premier League Roundup show. It's game week 10 of the Premier League season. I hope you are all well. Before we get into it, drop a like on the video, subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you're new to check out our channel sponsors, SRM Carver and Son, by clicking the link in the description down below. Me and Sean are happy this week. Josh is going to have to wait about 3 hours to know whether he's going to be happy at the end of this game week, but I hope you are all well. Before we get into it, let's just head into the chat and see who we've got. James, I hope you are well. Terry, hope you're keeping well, mate. And Phil is in as well. Phil, hope you are well. Right then, there's quite a few goals to talk about this week, which is always lovely. Josh, I'm going to come to you first. Bournemouth 2, Leicester 1.
Yeah, Bournemouth, fair play to them since they've sacked Scott Parker. They've actually been quite well. I think they're up to like top 7 or 8 now, is it?
Unbeaten, I think, since they sacked him.
I'm fair play to them because they haven't got a proper manager either. I think it's because they're in the middle of a financial takeover. So I think they've got a caretaker manager. It wouldn't even surprise me if they give him the job full time because he's done a really good job since Scott Parker's sacked. And after the 9-0 defeat, you didn't think it would be good for the players' confidence. But no, as you said, I think they've been unbeaten since then. They have been really good. I think they're into the top 8 or 7 now. As for Leicester, they beat Forest 4-0 on Monday night. We thought it was a turning point for them, but it's been a few times this season where they've let a lead slip, and it's not looking good for them. I think Rodgers will be well sacked by now if he went on such a big contract. I think that's the only reason why he hasn't gone yet. I still think Leicester will be all right. I think they'll avoid the drop. I don't think they'll be in a relegation battle by the end of the season. Definitely have the players to get out of it, but it's not been a promising start, that's for sure. As for Bournemouth, I do still think they'll get dragged back into it at some point, but fair play to them since the manager's been sacked after a 9-0 defeat. To go and beat him for about 5 or 6 games from them and get into like the top 8, that's really good.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if I was a Leicester fan, I'd be pretty livid. I think they were 1-0 up, and Bournemouth came and they turned it round. Yeah, I think you're bang on about Rodgers there. To be honest, you know, he's on a big contract. To pay him off will cost them a lot, and they don't really want to do that. But it might be getting to that stage. A lot of Leicester fans have called for him to go in the last few weeks, and I think, you know, that performance has just added fuel to the fire. Moving on, let's move up to the Etihad. Sean, another game, another Man City game, another Haaland goal. Man City 4, Southampton 0.
Yeah, they're not gonna stop easily, City, are they? Let's be honest. I was told actually from a good source that Hasenhüttl will be given that sort of game as a free hit, and I think they're playing your lot next, aren't they?
Yes.
Southampton. I was told he was going to be given a free hit against City, and then the game against your lot is going to be his crunch game. If you beat him, I think he's gone.
Well, he better pack his bag then.
Well, that remains to be seen. I think Southampton, they've always been funny under Hasenhüttl. I think they've had a habit of going on awful runs and good runs, so they are unpredictable. But I think I said the other week, I think they're just a bit easy to play against. You can, they've not got not many physical players on the side.
They haven't clicked at all, have they?
No, got a lot of kids have come in. They've built the youth. But Man City, I think I mentioned last week, I think they got a chance of going unbeaten like Arsenal did. Not like Arsenal did. If they do it, they'll do it in better style. But I'm looking at the league and I'm thinking, who's going to beat them? I'm thinking they're going to have the last few. I think I might have been repeating myself. What I said last week. In past seasons, you think, right, if City have a slightly off day, maybe 6 or 7 teams, if they really turn it on, can beat them. This year, even if Man City have a slightly off day,
they're still going to beat most teams too.
I'm struggling to see. Well, Tottenham beat him twice last year. Look, they beat him twice, but definitely deserved to beat him once. This year, just having Haaland, even if he doesn't even touch the ball, you need 2 defenders keeping an eye on him. So that just gives a Foden, a De Bruyne, a Mahrez, a Gundogan, whoever they want to play, just that extra yard. Do you know what I mean? But when a player's of that quality, if you just give them an extra, just a yard, that's all they need, or an extra 2 seconds. Players of that quality, you give them an extra 2 seconds, they can pull something out of the bag every goal they score looks world class. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's a team goal, whether it's just a curl in the top corner, they're gonna. Yeah, I don't see any. Well, I know Arsenal are up there, but I don't see anyone really getting close to City. We'll probably say this every single week. It'd be save, repeat.
Yeah,
And,
Control C, Control V. There we go.
Yeah.
I think with City, if Haaland goes without a major injury throughout the whole of the season, knowing everybody else is lucky, he'll probably get a 4-week injury. At the middle of November when everybody goes off and we got a month off the Premier League. But I can't see teams beating City. Even when they have an off day, I can't see them not winning. Because they've got so much there, and even if they play really poorly, they're still going to have Haaland there. Who's, if you're going to give him 2 chances, 9 times out of 10 he's going to at least score one of them. So.
I did see an interesting stat because although Haaland, there's no one better inside the box in world football probably. He's a good player, but he doesn't offer loads when the ball's outside the box. I think he's on 15 goals, all 15 in the Prem, and it's 20. I think it's 19 or 20 in all competitions. And I think 11 of those goals were inside the 6-yard box. Believe it or not, I think that stat came up in midweek when he scored in the Champions League. 11 inside the 6-yard box. That's unreal, really. It sort of tells you how City is sort of playing. He's got very sharp movement. He hasn't got. It'd be like a 1 yard quick dash, and he's in front of or behind the defender.
Oh, he's got, isn't he? The everything about him, the acceleration that he's got, the heading ability he's got. Josh, do you think anybody can stop City and Haaland?
No, I think the gap by the end of the season will be at least 10 points. I just think no one can get close to them. I know Arsenal are above them at the moment, but no, I don't think anyone's going to get close to them by the end of the season. I'm not sure whether they can go unbeaten. They have had a few slip-ups already, due to Newcastle, due to Villa, but I think they will lose 1 or 2, but I still think that they'll absolutely run away with it, yeah.
Yeah. Let's head into the let's head into the chat. City didn't get out of third gear on Saturday. Well, that's the thing. They barely do get out of third gear because they don't need to. They've barely really turned it on properly, and they've thumped the side 4-0. Must get boring. I know it's brilliant, but it must get boring. But let's take some more of your comments. Sharky, hope you well. Good evening. All nice 3 points yesterday for West Ham. It was indeed. Evening, everyone. Hope you're well. Even Sean. See, there we go. People are warming to you, Sean. It's only took a year.
That's because I'm educating them weekly. That's all that is. They're grateful that I'm here.
Peter says Saints are a bogey team of us. Yeah, they are. We didn't play them 3 times last year. We didn't beat them. We got a point out of them, and that was it. So hopefully we can right those wrongs next Sunday. Saints in trouble this season. Josh, you look nervous for tonight. Is it almost a derby just on the cuff?
But it's the Midlands in it, so I suppose you can slightly call it derby as well. But no, I think if we beat Leeds last week, then we could have afforded a point tonight. But because we drew to Leeds, I think we've got to win. I said we need 7 points from Southampton, Leeds, and Forest, and so far we've only got 4 to win tonight. I think we've got to win tonight. I think if we lose, it'll be in big trouble. I think we're already 16th or something like that. But I think if we win, we go into the top 10. I think it's that close or 11th or something. But if we lose, then I think they might go above us. So I'm not sure. But basically, we need to win. I am a bit nervous.
Well, there we go. Bailey says, "Come on, Villa. Let's get a win 3-1 tonight. 20. That's what he's got so far. 20 plus goals in all competitions, and we're in October, for Christ's sake. Foden should get 20 plus 2. I think Haaland is an alien. He is unreal. Shame we couldn't get the Haaland deal done. Sullivan just didn't want to pay his wages. Evening all. Kent, hope you well, mate. Peter says lose tonight. Josh Gerrard will be given the boot. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Gary, hope you are well as well. We'll get on to Villa a little bit later on. Let's move on to a homecoming for Diego Costa as Chelsea put 3 past Wolves. Josh.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It was one of the 3 o'clock ones, weren't it? But I heard Armando Broja scored. And again, Chelsea, they had a bit of wobble start to the season. I was sacked Tuchel. I think that was very, very harsh, but it still weren't exactly a great start to the season. But I think they're going to do well on the pot. He plays a nice style of football. If Gerrard was sacked, if he was still at Brighton, he'd be the first one I think Villa were going to try and go for. Obviously now he's gone to Chelsea, definitely not. But he is a good manager, probably the best English manager, to be honest. Yeah, he has done well for them so far. They've spent ridiculous amount of money. Cucurella for Fofana. I'm pretty sure Fofana's injured again, isn't he? I'm not sure, but he hasn't been playing too much. But yeah, as for Wolves, I think I've heard, is it the Seville manager that's been sacked and it's Portuguese, so they reckon they're going to get him.
Is that Jules Ocampos? Is that his name?
I'm not sure, but I know he got sacked by Sevilla in the last week. I'm not sure, but they'll definitely get another Portuguese one. I'm pretty sure he's Portuguese, but I think he's the favourite. And yeah, it's been a struggling start to the season again. Like Leicester, I think they've definitely got the players to get out of it. I don't think they'll go down. I don't think they'll be in a relegation scrap by the end of the season. They should get a new manager and probably turn it around, but I don't think there'll be a team who will be getting like top 10. I don't think Diego Costa is your 20 goal a season man anymore. He's about 35 now, I think. But as I say, a bit like Leicester, I think they'll definitely have enough to get out of it. As for Chelsea, I think top 4 at best for them, but as I say, no one's getting close to City. But yeah, it was a good performance.
Yeah, Julian Lopetegui was the manager. He's actually Spanish, but I did see he's been linked with the job. That would not surprise me one bit. Let's have a look. Peter says Watkins well off the boil for Villa. I think he's starting tonight. I did have a cheeky look at the lineup a minute ago. I did see Lingard's not starting, which is mildly amusing. Let's have a little look here. Is your man starting? Cool, Coutinho and Watkins and Buendia in there. So well, Josh has a little look at that. Let's take some more of your comments. Terry says they are dull. Chelsea will always be dull. Fair enough. Phil says the Graham Potter dynasty is up and running. Nuno back to Wolves. Yeah, could you imagine that? I could see that happening. To be fair, Spurs ruined his career, didn't they? But, you know.
I think he's managing like Saudi Arabia or somewhere.
Oh, is he? Oh.
I saw it on.
He's had to go and hide over there after Spurs ruined his career, hasn't he? So you know.
You're right. You're right, Josh. He is in Qatar or something like that. Because when he's joined last year, I'm pretty sure they stole the same sort of slogan and welcome video as what Tottenham did. They always stole the video because they didn't knock up their own one. But yeah, he is over somewhere dreadful and silly money, no doubt.
Yeah, probably. Right, let's move on. Here we go then. Brighton 0 Spurs 1. Before we get into it, we've just got to say, obviously Mwepu received some crap news earlier. You know, something that no football player aged 24 should ever, or any age should ever hear. That he's got to give up playing football. Condolences obviously go out to him because that is horrible. But Sean, Brighton 0, Spurs 1.
Yeah, well, you know my fondness of Brighton. So and they
weren't great, to be honest, were they?
It was a typical Tottenham game. I think if you're a Tottenham fan under Conte, you've got which I am. You learn to appreciate organisation. Tottenham haven't always been like that over the years, but on their Achilles heel. Quality when it matters. Do you know what I mean? Like if a lot of teams will pass, lose the ball, pass, lose the ball, you're going to get dragged off if you're playing for Conte doing that. So if you've got the ball, you've got to make it count. So it'd be quality, not quite so often as some other teams because he just wants it to be right all the time. He won't risk bundles going forward. He'll just make sure he's covered. I think there's a few sort of steals going around when Tottenham lose the ball, the shape they create. In this game, they did sort of, a lot of fans have been crying out for a 3-5-2 just to get, probably just against some teams. And he went with it, put Basuma in there, left striker on the bench. It did make sense because Brighton are another sort of possession-based side. Do you know what I mean? They can, with the ball, Brighton can outplay the best of sides. They can. They're better than Liverpool, Anfield. They can go toe-to-toe footballing with the likes of Man City on their day. Very good technical players, good movement. So chucking the extra man in, it did suit. It doesn't help, but we've got 2 forwards injured. So if you're starting Richarlison and all 3 forwards, and on the bench you've got no real forward option. We had a few good chances. Kane, even though he's got a good record so far, he's missed a few. You'd expect him to do better. Another sort of well-worked goal. What Tottenham are good at, they restrict teams to clear-cut chances. And I think that's what it sums it up. We get our shape. They can most teams pass it around, and it usually results in a shot not usually that central from about no closer than, say, the 18-yard box. I think they hammered one wide and Lloris was rooted, and that was probably their best chance. It just whistled wide. I think that was probably the best chance of the game, but that was from on the edge of the box. So that sums Conte up, really. Very good win. I don't think many teams go to Brighton and win. Not a bad week for Tottenham at all. I was quite happy with the 0-0 in Frankfurt in the week, even though we definitely should have beaten there, I thought, with the chances we had. It was a strange night for the strikers. Like Kane was missing them, Son was missing them. But we do, as you messaged the other day to me, we do miss Kulusevski. He needs to come back. We don't even have Lucas Moura fit, and there's no sign of him coming back. So options are a bit low, and it's a busy period. But yeah, 1-0 away to Brighton is a very good result for any team, I think, whoever you are. Even if Man City get a 1-0 there, I think that's a good result.
Very good. Very, very good. Before we move on, I know you like your horses, Sean. Noble Mark at the 8 o'clock at Wolverhampton. Get on it. 5-1. Noble Mark. Get on it. Kurt's Cat was on at 7 o'clock. I'm not quite sure how he got on. I'll have to have a look at. It was like 80-1. Somebody's named their horse Kurt's Cat, which was mildly amusing. Right. Anyway, let's move on. Got some goals for you, Josh. Newcastle 5, Brentford 1. They hit 4 against Fulham last week, and they hit 5 against Brentford this week.
Yeah, I've said this for Newcastle a few times now. They haven't spent as much as people thought they were going to this summer because, well, they've spent quite a bit, but they haven't signed as many players as people thought they were going to because they signed about 7 players in January. But yeah, they didn't have a great start to the season with the last few games. I think they scored 8 goals in 2, haven't they? Fulham away and then Brentford at home. So yeah, today I think, not today, it was yesterday, but Almiron, who used to be like a 1 goal a season man, he's scoring for fun now, really, isn't he? So that's another thing. I know last season he moved Joe Linton to midfield. Again, he was awful up front, and he seems to be looking a different player as well. It's just he's done a really good job, Eddie Howe, hasn't he? I know, obviously, he's got new players, but I still think give Bruce them players. He's not gonna do that. He's not Steve Bruce type of players. People saying can they get Euros this season? I'm not sure. I definitely think they'll get top 9 or 8. Whether they can sneak into that 7th place, I'm not sure. As for Brentford, I think they'll be fine, but I think they'll be scrapping for relegation this season. They've got Tony, who is scoring for fun. I think he scored again this game, didn't he? I think it was a penalty. I think they'll be fine, but I do think that they will be down there. They'll be scrapping for relegation, but I think they'll have enough. But yeah, it's good for Newcastle. I think they can definitely go on and get top 9 or 8 at least this season. Don't think that Isaac scored too many yet. I'm not sure if he got one the other day. I'm not sure. But yeah, looking good for Newcastle.
Yeah, obviously they're scoring goals for fun at the moment. You know, Noble Mark is now 5-1. Sean, get on it. Just get on it.
Don't back anything on the weather. That's a little tip of mine.
Kurt's Cat finished 9th out of 10th, and it did start at 150-1. So you know we're just gonna ignore that. Noble Mark is gonna win. Put it on it. Eddie Howe, next England manager. You can shake your head all you like. He's a born winner, mate. Phil says it's been a year since their takeover, and they are doing their business pretty good so far. They haven't had much positivity in the last few years. I think, and Newcastle will easily get top 10.
Oh
yeah, they are.
I think they'll get top 8 myself.
Fair enough. We'll come back to that at the end of the season, but yeah, they will be up there. Obviously, Steve Bruce got another £3 million payout today. Would you take him over Gerrard, Josh?
Oh, no, I had enough pay when we had him in the Championship. Honestly.
Gerrard out Bruce in.
Has Bruce been in every club in the league? I mean,
he hasn't been to us or you, Sean.
Not yet.
He's been at Villa and Birmingham. He's been at Sunderland and Newcastle. he just goes to every team's rivalry.
Just making his way around, isn't he? Having a jolly.
Once
receiving 2 million quid every other year.
he got sacked from Newcastle, God knows how much money he must have got there.
Yeah.
You think that'd be it now? I think he's done, but no. 3 months later, he takes the West Brom job, and that was just never gonna work. I think they're like in the bottom 3 of the Championship, and yeah, I'm not sure. I think that might be his last one now. He's getting on a bit. I'm not sure. I would like to see him in another job, but now I think after that, I'm not sure now. But everyone thought that after Newcastle as well when he walked over his 8 million quid or whatever it was. But
in the wise words of Josh, he's getting on a bit. So we'll have to wait and see whether he picks up another job with a few more quid on the board. Right, let's talk about our game. This is going to be interesting. West Ham United 3, Fulham 1. I will start as I always do. Another 3 points on the board, 3 wins in a week, a perfect week for West Ham. Couldn't have asked for much more, really. We haven't reached the heights that I think we can with these team and with these players we've got. But at the start of this week, that's all we needed. We've got the 9 points in the 2 competitions. But overall in the game, obviously we started really, really slowly again. Bowen thought he was fouled, or just fell over on the halfway line, and our right-hand side was just completely open. Zuma misreads it, and it just kind of goes over Fabianski's head at pace. We were kind of directly in line with it, and I thought there's no way he's saving that. He hit it hard. Should he have saved it? I'm not so sure. I think you can make arguments for either side of it. But if Ariola's there, does he save it? Probably. But then we come back. I think it was then the penalty incident, if my memory serves me right. I mean, that was just stupid. Happened one time, happened twice, and it happened the third time, and the referee made the right decision in the end. Penalty, Bowen. Good penalty, sent the keeper the wrong way. Happy days. And then the controversy starts. It was strange because he chipped it in and he was right in front of us, and Scamacca just stopped. He just stopped and just didn't do anything. And I stopped because I was like, is everything okay? I looked to the linesman, his flag was down, and then a couple of players came over and started running over and giving it the big one. So I just presumed it was the goal. Then we had the 85 minutes of VAR check, and about 3 years later we come back. We come back with no offside, with no handball. To be honest, it does touch his hand, but where's his hand going to go? Is he supposed to just cut off his hand? Where's it supposed to go? And he pulled it out of the way. It doesn't affect the position and the way the ball's going, in my opinion. And he chips over. Fulham stopped, and that's their fault, not our fault. In the end, that whole debacle after Fulham moaned for 2 minutes, I think that took about 5 or 6 minutes in the end from the ball in the back of the net to kick off, which is just stupid. But the third one, now it's handball, I'll give you that. But the reason it wasn't given, or the way I've read the rule book, is that because it's in a separate phase of play, it doesn't directly lead to a goal, because both the Fulham keeper and the Fulham centre half touched it, and then Antonio hit it into the back of the net. So for me, that's a different phase of play, and it wasn't pulled back. Is it right? I don't know. I'm not here to argue. We've had our fair share of crap VAR decisions, so I'm just going to take it. We won at the end of the day. Scamacca, he won't get enough praise for that finish. That's a very good finish to chip that over and get it under the bar. Antonio, to come on as a super sub for 20 minutes is a dream. It's a defender's nightmare, I think, when he's on it. Scamacca, as I said, is really starting to boil. Paqueta, a good few things here and there. We were very open at the back, which concerned me at times. But Dawson, I thought, was the best defender out of the 4. And we got the 3 points. Fulham feel hard done by. Oh well, it's VAR, innit? We all get it. Sean, just
the law book is quite clear, mate. Any handball which directly leads to a goal should be disallowed. That's quite clear.
But Dermot Gallagher said it didn't lead directly to a goal.
Okay, my second point was just VAR and a lot. I've noticed the last couple of weeks since that appalling weekend when everything went wrong for decisions. I don't know if you've noticed, but the press, match of the day, highlights, they're not analysing them as much as they were. I don't know if you've noticed that. And we'll get on to the Liverpool-Arsenal game in a bit. But they're not going into it as much. So what they actually say on the TV, I'm not sure I trust that much, because that last night I watched the highlights of the Liverpool game and they scooted over all the iffy ones a lot. But that one, Scamacca knew it was handball. You know what I mean? I think he handballs it twice. I think it bounced up, it hits his hand, and then it flicks off his elbow.
He wouldn't have completely stopped, would he, if he never knew?
No, he knew. He knew. He knew. But like you said, you get them. Sometimes you get them. Sometimes you don't. I think the Fulham manager said today, and I heard it today in an interview, that the referee was even embarrassed that they gave it. He said that he was laughing, that it was so bad, such a bad decision that he was laughing. That's what he said. So
well, if he said that, then he should have went and looked at the monitor, because he can still do that. That's his issue. That's just making excuses.
That makes me wonder, and I've wondered this for a while, if some games it's actually working. You know, some games where you think, why didn't you have a look? Well, if he's in his ear, and if the ref's saying, well, we can't really tell from the camera we got, said you before, this is for any game. The World Cup, I think we're going to have about 30 million cameras analysing VAR. In the Premier League, we've got about 6 around the ground. Do you know what I mean? And 2 of those are zoomed in from space with the blurriest things you could ever imagine. Even the Scamacca one with a handball, you can see, I think it's clear it hits him twice, but even that looks like it's off a 1980s telly. Do you know what I mean? It's not, whatever it is, it's not working. Whether the decision's wrong, whether the process is wrong, you probably shouldn't have had those 2 goals. You did. I'll go back to the Fulham goal, though, because thought you were maybe a bit critical. I've seen it a few times. I wouldn't blame the keeper. I think he hits it absolutely lovely, the forward. Yeah. I don't think how he gets the height and the power that close. I think it's his technique, which is very good. I think was it Zuma, the defender?
Yeah.
I think if he did it again, he'd think, I need to get next time he'll be tighter than that, I assure you. Because he was he stood off 5-6 yards, probably thinking, oh, he's just going to put his foot on it, wait for a forward to join up play and try and cross it.
That's what
he hit it. He hit it a little bit. They call it flat, don't they? Because he's only about 8 yards out at an angle. Hit it flat and it just dipped in. Lots of power. Yeah, I wouldn't blame the keeper for that. But yeah, I think you got fortunate, most definitely with the Scamacca one, and I think everyone I think knows it. But even the player, but it happens. And if Fulham stop, then more for them, because you're taught from about under 6s onward, play to the whistle, and and that's it. I think you're picking up a head of steam very, very, very slowly, but slowly getting there. I think again, I was even a few Tottenham fans were arguing about Arsenal yesterday, and my point was again, which I said last week, not many teams in the league are playing great. I think I've seen a league comparison from 9 games last season. I think your lot 6 points worse off, by the way. You look at the top 5 or 6, you think, Christ, last season was a lot stronger. Like your first 3 were the 3 teams that everyone expected to go for the title, and it was the 3 that finished the top 3: Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, top 3. Okay, so
don't forget, Sean. But don't forget, we're only 10 points off you, so we're coming for you. Don't forget that. don't forget that.
Don't be worrying about anyone else. But the league's not great at the moment. I just don't think the quality's there. I think not many teams have got up and running. I think I'd probably only say 3 teams are playing to their potential at the moment. And I'd say that's City, Arsenal, and probably Newcastle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think the rest of them are getting results. But you even hear the players afterwards. They often say, yeah, it's a good win, but we can play better. So the players know themselves. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I think and to bring Josh in there, I think I agree. The Premier League has been a poorer standard before, and there are more teams than average that have been rubbish, really. But any other thoughts you'd like to add on that and the game?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I probably do agree. Like, it's when you've got Brighton, like after 10 games, well, before Spurs, they were like 4th or 5th, weren't they, or something like that, and that's Brighton. Yeah. So, like, I suppose, it has been, as Liverpool are about 10th as well, aren't they? So, and I've just got news on my phone, I've seen it, Luis Diaz is out till after the World Cup now. So, yeah,
that's I tell you what, that's one wheel off for them. That is.
Can I just make a point about Liverpool? And we'll get on to in a minute, but this is starting to really wind me up.
All right, let's do it then. Come on then. Arsenal 3, Liverpool 2. You can both have a say on it, Sean.
Well, I'll be trying to be as quick as I can. This is Josh's game, but I think Arsenal are getting away with a lot of decisions. A lot of decisions. I think I said last week about the Emerson Royale red card in the derby. That's meant to be, those sort of tackles are meant to be yellows. We've seen one in the Leeds game, not a red. We've seen one. Martinelli followed through on Trent, not a red. So they're getting away with these decisions. I think definitely a penalty was a handball when the arm was in the air. That's a handball. They say you got to have your arm in a natural. That's why you see defenders with their arms by their waist nowadays. You put it up and it hits your arm, you should know that's a handball. I think the Arsenal penalty was very soft. I think they got away with that. There's a case to say Saka looked a little bit offside for the first goal. I think they're getting the rub of the green a lot. I don't necessarily think they're a lot better than they were last season, really. I just think that maybe a little bit. They look rapid, they're quick, they're fast, they're going for it. They're not, I don't think they're that great, nothing special. My final point for Anderson on the Josh is Southgate's triggered it, where he keeps leaving Trent Alexander out the squads, right? And as soon as he does that, there's like a clamouring from certain pundits and members of the press. He could be one of the best fullbacks in the world, blah, blah, blah. A top fullback is not a fullback which hits 6-7 world-class assists a season. Defensively, he's championship level. And I'm not exaggerating. His positional play is appalling. Like, he gets turned inside out. If you run him and cut him inside, he's like he's treading in quicksand. He is really, really poor defensively. And he put it this way, I think we're quite overloaded for right backs for England.
We are, yeah.
I wouldn't even take him to the World Cup.
No, neither would I. No. And I think the issue with Liverpool, and Josh, I'll come to you. So we've got Henderson there. Not Henderson. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold there, who's now injured and is, just as well injured because he's costing them as many as he would sat in the injury room. You've got Luis Diaz now injured, which has been their best player this season. The wheels are falling off Liverpool, and it was a rapid game. I've seen the highlights. There's plenty of decisions to discuss. I'll hand it over to you, Josh. Arsenal 3, Liverpool 2.
Yeah, just going back to England a minute. With England's defence already, how bad it is already, and I wouldn't even put Trent in anyway because, as I say, he's awful defending. He is really good going forward. Probably is one of the best, but with how bad England's defence is already, I just think putting him in at right back will just make the defence worse. We need a solid defender like maybe Reece James or Kyle Walker, but Kyle Walker's out. Looks like he's a doubt for the World Cup now, I've heard. So we probably will just go with James. But I don't know why I don't know why no one's ever tried Trent in midfield because we've seen before he can't defend. He can't off ping a pass. He can ping a ball into the box. He can hit them. Don't know why I never put him in midfield. Obviously, Southgate would never do it because he always likes to play his two holding midfielders no matter who we're playing. Southgate never, but I don't know why Klopp never does. I suppose they haven't really got another right, but I just think
it's a system. He can't fit Trent into his. It's like a 4-3-3 plays, isn't it? Yeah. And he's just not disciplined enough to play anywhere in a midfield. I don't think. If you're playing a wing back or a push, put him right wing, then maybe. But he's just not disciplined enough for positional play. So I don't think he don't trust him. I don't think.
No, I think some of the decisions that Arsenal have been getting, like I thought they were quite poor against. So I wouldn't say they were poor, but they weren't great. They never really had to get out of second gear when we played them about 5 or 6 weeks ago now. They never really had to get out of second gear. We were poor, and we were nowhere near at our best, but we nearly got something. We got beat 2-1. They never really had to get out of second gear, really, and they got quite a few decisions against us as well. I think it's like whoever is at the top, as long as like the top two, as long as it's a big six, they're always going to give the decisions to. I just think I don't have to get told to keep it, like it keeps it like exciting. But it is unfair. It is stupid. And another thing is, like, I don't know if I've said this, but probably have, but like when it's Ronaldo or something, the ref isn't going to say no to Ronaldo because he's the hero or the superstar or wherever. So he's not going to say no to like any of the superstars. I think that's another thing. It's really unfair. But I don't think Liverpool were too great anyway, to be honest. No, they had bad refereeing decisions, but I don't think they were too great anyway. And I said about Arsenal before, and I obviously the top at the minute, I'm not sure it'll last too much longer. I still think City will run away with it. I'm not sure when Arsenal play City, but I think when they do, especially if City at home, they'll probably get beat. But as for Liverpool, I do think they'll come back. I think they'll still make top 4, but I definitely don't think they'll be in a title race now. As I say, I don't think anyone's going to be in a title race now. It's just going to be a one-horse race. But yeah, it's just a good win for Arsenal. But again, I don't think they were absolutely outstanding and got quite lucky with the ref once again.
Yeah, just on the Arsenal Man City, which is a little bit frustrating, because if Arsenal do manage to keep up with them, if they do, the Arsenal Man City game was due to take place in 9 days' time, but was postponed because I believe that game was postponed so UEFA can play the Europa League game that was cancelled due to the Queen dying. I believe that's what happened there. So then that game's got to be rescheduled because UEFA obviously rule everything, and what they want happens. So so that game's been postponed. So then it could be until after the World Cup, and they play them again in April. So there could be 2 games between Arsenal and Man City in quick succession if it works out like that. And you never know, they might still be in a title battle, and that could be interesting there. But
with the World Cup, I just don't know how they're going to fit all these fixtures in. Like obviously, a load of a game week had to be cancelled because of the Queen's death, and like I just really don't. There's going to literally have to be got to fit the Champions League games in as well. So the Champions League teams are already playing Thursday, Sunday, or Europa League teams, or Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. Like, and then there's going to have to be Premier League games like Wednesday, Saturday, isn't there? If they want to fit them in before the end of the season. So I really don't know how they're going to do it. It's just going to be like they already all moan about like fatigue and the schedule and how many injuries there's, especially the big managers do. So I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know what they're going to do this season, to be honest. But
yeah, and you know, you've got for the big side, you've got the Premier League, you've got Europe, you've got the Carabao Cup, you've got the FA Cup, compressed into one short period of time. I would not want to be an organizer.
Go on until about June, isn't it? Hey, I just don't understand how they're going to manage to do it without any really bad complaints. I don't know.
That's not for us to sort out. People get paid to do that. Moving on, Sean. Crystal Palace 2, Leeds 1. The forgettable game of the weekend.
It was a standard Leeds game, really. they come out flying out the box, erratic, flying all over the place. They were probably the better side first half an hour. Missed a few quite reasonable chances, which they do. They're not great finishers. They miss a lot of chances every game. But second half, Palace come out a different side. I thought that they were almost showboating a little bit, you know, and the crowd are cheering the passes, and just looked like Leeds' legs have gone a little bit. And I just did a little bit of research for coming about Leeds. A few of their fans are on the turn already with the manager. They're they can play. They play well in patches. That's the problem. They'll have a good 20 minutes and they'll just fizzle out. His subs are a bit strange. Typical American. He does more talking than anything. I don't know. I thought Leeds would be bottom 6 at the start of the season. I'm going to stick with that, really, to be honest.
I had Leeds on. I did like some Premier League predictions. I had them bottom. I just thought they lost the 2 best players, didn't they, Rafinha and Phillips, and they've just replaced them with a load of kids. I thought at the start of the season they were going to come bottom, but I still think they might go down. But I don't think it's the bottom.
They've actually bought quite well. I think is Anderson, the American, he's quite a good player.
He's quite good. Yeah.
Then they got Tyler Adams, another midfielder. They got Sinister, the one who got sent off against York the other day. He's a tidy winger. He's the one that Diaz. They're both Colombian, aren't they? I believe he actually keeps Diaz out of the Colombian side sometimes. So, but yeah, none of them are very prem proven. So And if you look at their back four, I think it's quite poor. I don't think Cooper's a Premier League defender. I think is it Cleach they play with him?
Yeah.
Thing is the way they set up Leeds under Marsh and but it's Bielsa, they don't have a great defence, but they also don't play an out-and-out holder. So their midfielders go off just hassling and chasing everyone. So if they're all out hassling and pressing and press, and then a team breaks, you've probably got championship level relegation standard defenders trying to defend with no protection. So I could see the same sort of weaknesses. Well, they were after this Marsh long before they got rid of Bielsa. They lined him up because they thought Bielsa was going to leave at the end of the season. Obviously, this appointment got rushed forward. They wanted him because he had a similar ethos and a similar style. I'm not sure that sort of style is what you can survive long term within the Premier League.
I think with Leeds, I think their time if they don't change things, I think their time in the Prem is coming to its end either this season or next season. If they don't change and yeah, they have bought a few good players. That Sinisterra is Colombian and he is quite a good player. But there are too many gaps of positions where players just aren't good enough.
Where Leeds go wrong, we said about them, they'll come unstuck in the end. Where Leeds under both these managers, and they seem to the owners seem to like this style because they went for a manager who did it in a similar way. In the Premier League, sometimes, especially if you're doing poor, you need to be able to put your foot on the ball and slow the game down. Put your foot on it, slow the game down, keep the ball. They don't do that. They just go hell for leather until they burn out, and then their legs are gone with 20 minutes to go against Palace. They had no ideas. I think he took off that Anderson. He's a good player. I think he took him off, left on Rodrigo's having a mare. Bamford, he started Bamford, and he still very rusty. Do you know what I mean? They got two kids on the bench, strikers. Yeah, I just think sometimes just slow the game down. That's all. They want 1-0 up, slow it down, kill it, get to half time. Do you know what I mean? And then I just don't know. I think the word to sum up quickly is game management. I don't think the Leeds managers do that, and that could be their undoing in the long run.
Yeah, just for a bit of
Sorry, I'm just saying that Cooper, I think he's championship standard. Nat Strauch, he must. I think he scored at the weekend, but he's got to be one of the worst Premier League defenders of all time. He has. He's genuinely awful. I've really played against him a few times. And me, Trezeguet and Anwar Ghazi look like Messi and Ronaldo. He is awful, but I think they might be all right this season. I don't know. I definitely think they'll be down there, but I don't think they've got long in this league.
Yeah. Just for a bit of mild humour, we're going to give the comment of the night to Peter, as it usually does. Trent should be playing for Forest with that name. That's quite good. You've done better, but there are worse out there, Peter. Right. So just for a bit of humour before we go on to the last couple of games. For some reason, don't ask why. I don't ask questions. People have started to put in some food-related players mixed into names, so you'll get the idea. Garlic bready Canute, Freddie Canute, very good. Right, Aaron Cress, wow, that's quite good. Ashley Coleslaw, that's quite good, that one. Yeah, that's not bad. Julio Caesar salad. I think that's about it. But yeah, there we go. See, just a bit of humor.
Are your shows that entertaining, Jake?
Well, obviously so. 27 people are watching it, sitting right in Julio Caesar salad, for Christ's sake, and flipping Ashley Coleslaw. So we must be entertaining viewers. So yeah, keep watching, like and subscribe. West Ham VAR massive everywhere we go. We've got some questions as well. What's your pre-match meal, Josh?
I don't have one.
You don't have one. Change the subject. Oh
no, I said change up all. I change up all the time.
Oh right, I see. Sorry, I see. Very good. Very good. Right then. Anyway, on that note, let's move on. Before we do, Skamaka getting better every game. He certainly is. Keep your wild and wonderful comments and questions coming in as we move on to Everton 1, Man United 2, a game at 7 o'clock on Sunday, which aggravates me as a fan the more I think about it. Sean, is it your game?
I don't know. I'll be honest, mate. By this time on a game weekend, I'd lost interest. I seen the goal. Was it Iwobi got that goal? Nice finish.
Pretty good goal.
Yeah, he's having a good season as well. In all fairness, did I hear it right before this game? Everton had the best defensive record in the league, or did I imagine that? I'm sure. I think they've had a few nil.
They were unbeaten, weren't they? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but
yeah, they went on quite a good run, didn't they?
Yeah, but United are one of these sides. Like if I say to Man United how they do, and you probably instantly say, "Oh, rubbish," but they got 2 games in hand and they could go 2 points behind third. So just another one of them teams. Sort of, I ain't got no interest in watching Man United. Do you know what I mean, if I think about them, they don't. Nothing about it excites me. I don't know. It is a hideous game time. That's all I can say on this game, really.
Yeah,
I think this is quite a common. Well, they did it a few times around the COVID time, didn't they? When they're putting every game. Remember they're putting every game on the television, every single one.
Yeah.
Like 8 o'clock on a Sunday.
Yeah, and I can remember our lot had a game like that, and the game ends, and you go straight to bed, and then it's like work the next day. It's like it was not nice. I wouldn't. Especially, I don't know what it's like if you're a travelling supporter. Imagine that. I know Everton and United are quite not that far apart, just on the motorway.
You'd like to think that was the reason they did it, but
I really don't like Sunday games anyway. Never mind nighttime Sunday games.
Sunday 2 o'clock's bad enough. Sunday R4 is just a nightmare. Sunday 7 o'clock is just knock it on the head.
No, this is how ridiculous the schedule's gone up. Villa haven't got a Saturday home game at 3 o'clock until next year now.
Oh, welcome to the club. We haven't had one all year, pretty much. And there we go. See, Sean was that astounded by that comment, Josh. He's just gone. Just completely gone. Plenty of people are talking about Ronaldo and his 700th goal, Josh. Fair play to him.
Yeah, a lot of people call him a tapping merchant now, which he probably is. He's about 40, isn't he now? Like, you wouldn't expect. But no, he still scores the goals when he plays. I think Messi's better, but yeah, I've always said that, but he is just unstoppable, isn't he? 700 goals, it's just, even if he is a tapping merchant now, he's still scoring the goals when he's about 40. You've got to give him credit, so fair play.
Yeah, fair play. Reese, Jacob, have you ever eaten at the Ribman at Hagley Wick? We haven't, but I've seen the pictures, and and I know it is very good. We'll get around there one day, but yes, better food than anything you'll find anywhere near the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that's for sure. We've got the Ribman, and that's it. Don't go in anywhere else. Don't pay £6 for a crap pie in the stadium. Don't pay £7 for a pint. Go to the Ribman. That's what you want. Anyway, Grandad says it was a terrible kickoff start time, only suitable for the TV. I don't know why it wasn't on at 12:30 on a Saturday, because that was a normal BT slot.
There was no
I'm not sure.
Game on the Saturday, was there? Instead, there was a 7 o'clock Sunday game. It's just weird.
Yeah. Right. I see. Peter says TV wanted the 12:30 normal kickoff, but as Man United played Thursday 8 o'clock, they couldn't do it. I see. Terry says Onana looks like he will come good for the Toffees. In my opinion, Onana's looked a solid player. People are having the Messi and Ronaldo debate. I'm just not even going there. It's best to appreciate both Messi and Ronaldo now they're at the end of their careers.
It is a boring discussion, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. That's why we don't do it. Strictly banned.
I've heard it enough times. Ever since it's the first thing when you get into football, that one of the first things debates you have.
Messi, Ronaldo.
Yeah, Haaland and Mbappe now is the next one.
Oh. Christ, that'll be going on for the next 20 years now. But anyway, right before we wrap things up, Forest versus Villa tonight. Josh, give us your lowdown and score prediction and anything else in between.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Villa. I'd just take any type of win, to be honest. We need to win 1-0 if it goes in off somewhat. I don't even care who scores. Just a 1-0. I don't mind. We just need to win. Just get 3 points on the board. Got Chelsea at home next week as well, so we just really need to win. We can't be 16th or 17th after 10 games and the money we've spent. If we beat Leeds, I'd say maybe a point would have been all right, but no, we didn't beat Leeds now, which we really should have. Hopefully Watkins is on it tonight. He's just such a frustrating player, honestly. It's like he misses so many chances, but hopefully he takes one of them tonight. Matty Cash is back. I've seen the team. I don't mind it. Buendia is in for Bailey, who's been poor last few weeks. He's just really inconsistent, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not going to say I'm confident. I'm very nervous, but it's probably good team to play. They're in really bad form. Cooper's just signed an extension. I thought he would be, looked like he could be sacked last week, but no, they've given him an extension. So I am nervous, but no, hopefully we should get to win 2-1, I think, Villa.
Yeah, fair enough. To be fair, Josh, you've been brutal tonight. Oi, Josh. What's wrong with about 40? Brutal Josh tonight. He's taking down everybody with him and Villa. Very good. Right, let's take some of your score predictions. 5-0 Villa, 0-0 ball draw. Let's have a look. Forest 1, Villa 4. I barely remember 40. Well, you know, you won't remember 40 when we're in the Football Content Awards, mate. You wait for that night. Matching ties and all. You wait for that Football Content Awards on Wednesday, the 16th of November. Thank you very much, everybody that voted. Just before I forget, thanks to everybody for voting for me in the Football Content Awards. Sean, I very much hope you have.
Of course I have. Of course I have. I'm all part of it.
You are. You're part of the organisation. Josh.
What we even it's his own worldly owner.
He was just thinking about maybe Villa might get a point tonight, maybe if we're lucky. Did you vote for me, Josh? Just say yes anyway.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Definitely will. Even though the vote's closed. Good stuff, Josh. No, thanks, guys.
I wouldn't have remembered.
Yeah, you did. I saw it. Don't worry. But yeah, thank you very much. Terry says we will have an awards outfit chat on Sunday, Jake. Very good, professional, and we'll have it sorted. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if we are new. From us, well, from me. Come on your minds, whatever them lot do, up the Villa, and we'll catch you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Josh. We'll catch you next week. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.